So, went to the dentist today. I have just a few cavities, nothing major. And the woman said, Jordan, in 12 years, this is the best your teeth have ever looked.
Congratulations, bud.
I'm so excited.
That brushing and flossing finally paid off.
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Movie Guys Podcast. We are continuing our sports retrospective episode with Hoosiers, a classic. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
Jordan,
Yeah.
how many movies have we done in this sport retrospective?
Yeah.
We have seen Iron Will.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen Miracle. We have seen Days of Thunder.
Right.
And there are more to come. This, without a doubt, is the whitest movie I have seen possibly in my life.
I would say that this is one of the most most overrated worst movies I've seen in my life.
Hard H White.
I don't like this movie.
This movie has a amazing critical reception.
I know it does.
It's been given A pluses, right, for the most part. It is a high-rated movie on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. User review of like 7.4. I think critic reviewed it at like 92 or something like that. It's gotten high claim from a lot of these movies, and when it came out, it was not thought to do well, but it did very well, actually.
It did very well.
It did very well. $6 million budget, and it made a lot of that back. $28 million gross.
Yeah, so Hugh Jackman met with the director, and I guess like Hugh Jackman, the director, were cool. Like, this is the director's first big role.
Gene Hackman.
What did I say?
Hugh Jackman.
I did say Hugh Jackman.
Which would have been a better movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan has officially retired on air. I cannot.
You were doing so well last week. You were hot with the names.
Yeah, I'm done, everybody. I'm sorry. I've been doing podcasting for almost 11 years with Eric. It's clearly done. Gene Hackman, I guess, was a total jerk on set because he didn't think the movie was going to do well.
Yeah, he thought this movie was a bomb. He thought it was going to stink. And I believe he told Dennis Hopper that this was going to end their careers.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So, wow.
Okay.
It's kind of funny, though, because at the same part, the director has gone on to not only make this movie, but Rudy as well, too. Arguably one of the greatest sports movies of all time.
Another Indiana movie.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you're right.
Right. No.
Well, I think he's from Indiana.
That's probably why. But that's the only problem, though, is that's all this guy does. Like, I went up and looked at this director's filmography. He did this in Rudy. Name me one other thing that was a big success. You can't.
You already looked it up?
I did, but I want you to look it up. Just to
Saint Elsewhere. Ooh. He did 2 episodes of that.
Yeah, he's mostly a TV director.
Yeah, TV movie. Other than that, besides those 2 movies, nope. Mm-hmm. I can't really give you anything else.
I agree with Gene Hackman. I mean, like, I am not being silly, Eric. So, confession time. I have not seen Hoosiers all the way through. This is a theme for the retrospective, I'm assuming, this year, right?
Same. No, I am there with you.
So I turn it on, right? And I'm like, oh, this follows a high school team? I thought this was the Indiana Hoosiers college basketball team, hence the name.
Right.
That's what I thought it was. And I thought it was based on a true story. It's not. It's extremely loosely based on a story.
Inspired by a true story would be more accurate, I believe.
Yeah, just like how Texas Chainsaw Massacre was inspired by a true story, right? And
yeah, but inspired in that there was once upon a time a small town high school in Indiana that won a state championship.
Right. And Eric, my arms were folded the entire time in this movie. I mean, we'll go through it step by step, but I will tell you, as soon as I pressed play, I was done. Like, this movie so far is probably the worst we reviewed in the Sports Retrospective series this year.
Yeah, I laughed a few times in it. It really was hard to watch, but at the same part, maybe the timing doesn't do well. And by timing, I mean in how long we've been doing these sport retrospectives. I was worried about this when I originally decided to do sports movies, just because I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And we'll get them later. I know that looking at the schedule, we got some more movies that kind of go down the line. But the worry was that some of these movies, like this movie or like Miracle or even Iron Will, stick to the same formula, right? Kind of down and out, new person coming in, gonna whip things into shape, gonna make it new. The locals are just like, oh, I don't like what you do, and the team is, oh, I don't like what this new guy's doing, and the new guy says, we're gonna play as a team. We can't play no more hero ball, and you gotta listen to what I'm gonna do. And he's a hard taker, he's strict, and we're gonna my way or the highway. And then sure enough, they lose the first game. They go on a win streak. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. And then he wins the town over. And then they make it to the big game. And it's so cookie cutter of what a sports movie is. It's hard to tear out from what makes it work, right? I feel like we're going to get... Thanks. I think we're going to get some other movies that are like this. But we're also going to get some other ones that are a new, refreshing take. And those are the ones that aren't necessarily based off of truth. Those are the ones that are based off of like a fictional character, like a Tin Cup.
Sure. But, okay, so this is where I'm totally going to disagree with you on. The plot for me, the cookie cutterness of this movie is not the problem for me, Eric. It really isn't. The problem for me is that the plot is so bad. It's not even stereotypically bad. It's bad. It makes no sense, right? Okay, so we get Gene Hackman, this coach who has a past. We don't know his past yet. And he goes to this small town in Indiana, and on his drive there, people are playing basketball because everybody in this town loves basketball, right?
Yep.
And it's like,
it's a basketball kind of town.
Great, it's a basketball town, right? And immediately he is met with hostility, which makes no sense. They don't even bring up the old coach because there's like this dad or like this townie that used to be the coach, but he was like kind of like fake coach until they found the real one. He was like an interim coach, if you will.
Yes.
So it's like, why? My thought process is I was mad because why is the interim coach mad when they were trying to find a new coach anyway? Wouldn't the interim coach know that they were going to look for a new coach anyway?
Ah, yes, that is correct. So I looked this up. Apparently, this movie's runtime is just over 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Or just under 2 hours, right? 1:54, 1 hour, 54 minutes. Originally, the director wanted this movie to be somewhere around the 2.5 hour mark. Maybe a little bit more. And the studio kept on pushing them down to make it 114 minutes. And he really was trying to put more story in there. There is a good chunk in a director's cut somewhere that exists, and I'm sure you can look it up, of an additional maybe half an hour of deleted scenes.
I will believe it.
Extra story, a lot of extra story. Apparently there was another coach involved here too. When Gene Hackman, Coach Norman Dale, when he first drives into town, he pulls into a gas station and he gets his gas pumped by not only this gas attendant, but he's also a coach for a neighboring town, and they have some squabble, I guess. There's a lot of stuff that we are missing from both the kids' perspective and from the other townies that are in this movie as well too. A big part of it was the character Myra, the female teacher that he first encounters. Apparently, there's a lot more. Played by Barbara Hershey. Hershey, by the way, legendary actress. And I guess there was a lot to their, I guess, relationship as well, too. A lot of this was cut out for a reason. It was cut out because the story that we see is told specifically through the eyes of Coach Norman Dale. All of the other deleted scenes would have added other storylines in the perspective of all these other characters. And I don't know whose decision this was at the final, but this is how it went.
Okay, well, bad decisions, because these are all, I mean, release the Snyder Cut of Hoosiers, right? I mean,
I want 6 hours of Hoosiers.
well, it's just because you're right. A lot of this stuff doesn't make any sense. I mean, so he comes into town. He's immediately met with hostility from everybody, right? Standard, though. I guess that's kind of a cookie cutter thing, right? But he's just met with hostility. And he's also a teacher. And I'm sorry, what's the love interest name?
Myra Fleener.
Myra hates him right off the bat, and like you have like this one kid, you have like the white Kobe Bryant in town, right? Who's like mute. Jimmy. And she's like, it's I'm not joking. Tell me if I'm wrong. I saw this movie last night, but when Myra sees Gene Hackman, like in the beginning of the movie, she's just like, "Hey, you see that Jimmy kid that's really good? He ain't playing because his parents died, and I'm taking care of him." And it's just like,
yeah,
okay.
Their first interaction was not the greatest, but also Gene Hackman's character, is not really this charismatic, warm person as well, too. He seems to kind of push as hard as he gets it, and it's you could be more aware of your situation here, bud. You're walking into a small town, and you're the new kid, and maybe be a little bit more open to what you're getting yourself into rather than just being a hard ass.
I don't think he's a hard ass. Like I really think he's thrown in here because what? He comes to this town because the principal of the high school owed him a favor. Did I miss something? Were these two college buddies? How did he get this job? How did Gene Hackman get the job?
They're just friends. We know them as friends. I don't know if they're from the service. It seems like Norman Dale was a college coach from Ithaca, New York, right?
Well, we find out about his past, yeah.
Yeah, we find out that, but he had recently been in the Navy for 10 years.
Which is interesting because Gene Hackman was born in 1930 and this movie came out in 1986. So that means that this movie takes place in 1951. So that means in this world, he would be 21 years old.
It threw me off a bit. I'll tell you that right now. Because that age gap where he's looking like my grandpa day one walking on set.
Right.
With this leather jacket and everything else like that too. So already I'm like, okay, fine. He's this old guy with the old dog coming in here to teach everybody some new tricks and be in this military and keep him on this routine. I like that. But there are many awkward parts in this movie. One of them being so unnecessary, the love interest.
Oh, terrible.
I don't need to see this. Oh, my God, I don't need to see this. I feel like it's so out of place. Mm-hmm. It doesn't do anything for the characters. But again, that probably goes with the deleted scenes, that there is more to it. Again, completely unnecessary. I think even with the deleted scenes, it's unneeded. What's really unneeded is the part where he's eating the woman's face, kind of like at 90 minutes in or something like that, too. That really made me shift my seat there a little bit, but just because it was like watching my grandma make out with like my teacher.
Oh yeah,
or my grandpa make out with my teacher. Excuse me. It just really just was weird. It felt I could feel the 30-year age gap between the two.
Grandpa still got it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Which I'm telling you this because tell me about math is right. This movie came out in 1986, and Gene Hackman in real life was born 1930. That means he was 56 years old when he made this movie, right?
He's just a young guy, young 50 years old from the Navy.
I'm just saying it's weird. Okay, so he gets so he's friends with the principal, and his past we find out towards the middle end of the movie, but we find out that he was this respected college coach. But something happened in the locker room to where he sucker punched a player and he got kicked out of the NCAA. That's his backstory.
That's right. That's right.
And he hasn't coached in 12 years. So now his friend in this small town in Indiana pulls him out of the weeds and says, hey, we need you to coach because you're a good coach 12 years ago. That's a ridiculous setup. That's absolutely stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, I guess, to make sense just because you have a town that has basketball fever. You have ample coaches. One of them who's already doing it and seems to be very committed to the process, right? Gotta play zone.
But
can't do no man here.
But he's committed to the old ways. You know what this movie's a ripoff of? Because I did references 3 times in this movie. This movie is Footloose, but basketball.
Oh?
How? Reason why I say that is because Footloose, there was a bad accident, and that's why they don't. That's why they don't dance anymore, right? Because of the accident,
yeah.
Right. So nobody dances in this town, right? We do things this way, right? This movie, Gene Hackman comes in. He has a town meeting in the barber shop, and everybody's like, "You don't come in here, Gene Hackman, with your crazy dancing. We play zone."
Yeah, that's right.
There's no one man in here. It's zone. We don't want to see you dancing, magically in a warehouse, shaking back and forth because you can't be held down. Tell me this isn't a good reference.
I follow with you. I just now have the image of Gene Hackman dancing Kevin Bacon style in a warehouse, and I think I want to see that. Too bad we can't. R.I.P.
Wow.
Gene Hackman. And his wife.
What's the song?
And their dog.
What's the song in that? Yeah, and the dog. They found the dog licking his face. No, I just really
Kenny Loggins song.
Yeah. I just really got a lot of Footloose vibes because he comes in with his new ways of playing ball, and they don't like that, which again is weird to me because they haven't won anything. Like, I mean, there's not like when he goes to the gym and meets the team for the first time, it's not like he's going to some prestigious school like the kids did in Mighty Ducks 3, right? Like, there's not all these championships everywhere.
They were, I could have sworn they were gloating about having a winning record, though. They were like 15-10 or something like that.
Great. But that's it. What,
so
20 years in a row?
They're proud of that, and they feel like, okay, we're on the right track. Keep that going, type of thing.
Great. So where was that coach from last year that got him to that 15-10 winning record?
That's a great question. I don't know if it was the same one.
Okay.
If it was the guy, George is his name, played by Shelley Ross.
We have seen that guy a lot.
Yeah, listen, if you've seen any movie from the 80s and 90s and even probably the early 2000s, you probably have seen him in something. He's typical disgruntled like guy. He was in Richie Rich. He was in Major League, Basic Instinct. I'm
gonna come up with
Ted.
I'm gonna come up with a fun new category for our golden headphones. I'm gonna call them ghost headphones. You know why?
Okay, why is that?
Because we review so many movies and we've seen so many movies that it is really hard to keep track on how many times you've seen a person, right? I feel like this guy's like the Ghost Headphones Award. Like, we've probably reviewed him 8 times over the past 11 years.
Probably so. Yeah, because he's been in so many
we probably
movies.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Rudy, by the way, so, I mean, we'll see him in that. My Best Friend's Wedding. Like, he's in
everything.
In every movie, it seems
right.
like.
So he's the coach. He's the interim coach. Gene Hackman comes in and says, hey, need you to leave here, Frank, or whatever his name is. I need you to skedaddle, right? George. Yeah. And then, of course, he's like, all right, kids. Gene Hackman's like, all right, kids, we're going to do things my way. And then you got 2 kids that are like, yeah, we can play by your rules. We don't like to dance. And he's like, fine. See you guys later. I mean, tell me. I mean, I'm not I'm sorry. This is such Footloose to me.
There is a lot of goofs in that as well too, because there's a lot of times in this movie where he will dismiss somebody,
right.
And then a few scenes later they will be back in the scene. So like that kid, the first one where he says, who was talking during his first speech to the team, and he kicks him off the team, or doesn't kick him off the team, he says, get out of here. He shows back up, but there's no apology, no reconciliation. He just kind of shows back up later on in the movie.
But his friend had to apologize. We saw that.
Yeah, and that was more so because the dad, I think, had a big part where, like, all right, son, go and apologize to the man.
Yeah, because the dad had a heart of gold, and he was telling all the townsmen, hey, let him do his job and let him coach, right? So then he's coaching, getting ready to, for their first game, and everybody's wanting Jimmy. He kind of just foo-foos Jimmy, right? He also has a runt on the team, right? Slim Shady, blonde,
That's
short
right.
guy,
Yeah.
and
The professor.
what?
And one?
Is that him? No, it's not.
No, but
Okay.
that's what I'm referring
Okay.
to. Where
Okay, I was like,
everyone knows and one,
like-
the basketball is the short white guy
Okay.
who
Whew.
has got a shaved head, but he could play ball.
Yes. White chocolate, I think, is what they call it.
White-
Wasn't there a guy that played for like the Denver Nuggets? Anyway, so we got the band of misfits. We get our first game, and his rule, which is a very, very silly rule in my opinion. His rule, Gene Hackman's rule, is we don't shoot until we pass the ball 4 times because we're a
Yeah.
team.
That's right.
Now maybe I'm wrong, but if you're open, shoot the darn ball.
Yeah, of course.
Are you going to tell Shaq to pass it 4 times? No, sir.
Well, and am I going to tell him to shoot either?
Dunk it. That's what you tell him to do. I just.
Yeah, well, yeah.
My issue with Gene Hackman in this movie too. There's a lot of issues, but one of my big ones is that I don't like his coaching style because the movie's telling me. I'm sorry. The movie. Yeah, I'm sorry. The movie's trying to tell me that he's this hard-nosed military kind of coach. I don't get it. They're not hard drills. Those are basic drills. And he wants to pass the ball 4 times because they're a team. Okay, there's other ways of making a team because he made such a jerk move, right? He had this tall, skinny kid, right, who stopped listening to him, right, and just started shooting, just draining threes. And there was no threes back then in 1951, but he was just draining threes. And what does he do?
He's
Takes him out of the
shooting
game.
pretty hot.
Takes him out of the game because he wasn't following. Why can't I teach these kids?
Yeah, I think
That's so
honestly, he's
stupid.
just trying to put his authority into it. Listen to me first, and then we can get to work. But yeah, that was another hard part of watching this movie, and I'm sure same goes for you. Somebody like yourself who has played high school basketball, to where you're watching how the game was in 1952, and you're just thinking to yourself, 1951. And you're just like, what kind of game is this playing?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fundamentals, right? Where it's just all finger rolls, little I don't know, little pop shots and alley oops here. Like that's about it. It feels like a parody movie, man.
Oh,
Like,
it was not shot
any
well.
basketball that I've seen
Yeah.
is just like ridiculous.
I think
now.
I think Blue Chips would be better than this.
I think The Sixth Man would have been better than this.
Joanna Man.
Oh yeah, there you go. Air Bud.
I saw that recently. It showed Riley. No, I didn't like how the, and then all of a sudden we get the town drunk. This guy with long
The
hair.
air up there.
They air up. Stop it. Anyway, we get the town drunk, and I'm just like, that guy looks familiar. What do I know that guy from? But I can't really tell he's a drunk. And then eventually we get a close-up scene of him, and I'm like, oh my God. And my wife goes, who? What? I was like, that's freaking King Koopa.
Yes, sir.
She goes, who? I said, that's Dennis mother freaking Hopper.
That's the one and only.
God. Just think, 87, 88, 89. Just think, 8 years from when this movie came out, he was playing the bald bad guy in Waterworld. Good for him.
He has had quite the career. I know that both these guys have, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But wow, what a and they both thought that they were going to be done after this, right?
What a crappy role for such a fun actor like Dennis Hopper. Like, what a
Easy Rider himself, baby.
It's a crappy role. All right, Dennis, listen. You're going to play the town drunk. But you love basketball. You know everything there is to know about basketball. It's your lifeblood besides the alcohol. Okay, I'm with you. Then Gene Hackman's going to get you to sober up and show everybody that you actually are a good man and you're not a drunk, okay? Then I'm going to rise from the top, right? And I'm not going to drink again? No. You're going to fall off the wagon 2 more times in the movie. And then he's like, okay, well then after I fall off the wagon the second time, I'm going to like be there for the championship, right? No. You're going to be in rehab. What a terrible role for this guy. This is a crap role. And I'm not being facetious, right? I mean, that was literally his arc. He had no arc.
You know, he had been vocal about this too because he was nominated for an Oscar for this movie.
You're joking.
And also a Golden Globe Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture for Dennis Hopper in this movie for Golden Globe and for Academy Award. This movie has 2 Oscar nominations, both for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Dennis Hopper and Best Music, which another laughable kind of part.
What music?
Original score by Jerry. I don't know the little weird little trumpet montage scenes.
Fire, strong.
But Dennis Hopper had said that he felt that it was very undeserving that he should not have gotten it for this role. And I agree. I think most people that would have seen this movie would possibly agree as well, too. Feels like they gave him that nomination just kind of as the thank you, keep you around for all the things that you've done, because he's done a lot before this. So maybe that's what it was.
Well, I'm just upset because there's no arc with him at all. I mean, like, you don't introduce a character actor like Dennis Hopper and make him be the town drunk and then end with him still being the town drunk.
There's not really a whole lot of arc to a lot of these people, and the ones that there is with, it seems to take a lot of liberties and it skips over a lot of what made them or molded them into what they are now, like a lot of those deleted scenes I had mentioned before, and it's kind of hard to get on that ride a little bit.
Jimmy. I want to talk about Jimmy because that's the big thing right there, the arc, right? So Jimmy is this Kobe basketball player, right? Larry Bird himself, because Larry Bird's from Indiana, right?
Yeah.
And he's so good, but his parents died, right? Both of his parents died. Is that the story?
That's what I'm getting, yeah.
And then the teacher lives next door to him, so she watches over him. She takes care of him, right?
That's right. That's right.
Right? The wrong kid died. So she tells Gene Hackman that you have Kobe Bryant here. You're not going to play him. Oh, also, if you want to talk to him, he's not going to talk. He's a mute. His parents are dead. He doesn't want to play, right? Then, in the middle of the movie, Gene Hackman is losing. The town is getting their pants in a bunch, and they do a big town hall vote to vote him out. He's going to get out, right? Then all of a sudden, here comes Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy comes in, and I get excited, Eric. I really do. Because it's like, oh, the mute's going to talk, and he's going to play basketball. And he walks up, and he's just like, I don't got much to say, really, but if Coach goes, I don't play. And they're just like, wow, we're crazy, right? And then he doesn't speak the rest of the movie. I lose him with the other men. He's not a character.
Yeah, again, what we're missing about there is that I don't know if he lost his parents on a basketball-related incident or not. It's traumatic. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's one of those where you can tell that he obviously just wants to play basketball. Everyone in the town's saying that this guy is like a prodigy. He's just good at basketball. They cheer for him in the first pep rally.
Yeah.
We want Jimmy. We want Jimmy. And then Gene Hackman has to come through and says, hey, this is our team. And I like him for saying that. Like, listen,
it's good on
whether we have him or not, this is your team. You know, this is who we are, not who we are not.
Right.
So get used to it. We're going to play. So, okay. Good on you, coach. I like that team spirit. Rah-rah. Mm-hmm. But he even talks to Jimmy, and he's just kind of like, whether it's your decision, I don't know if it's you making that or if it's Myra, whatever her name is again.
Moira.
Yeah, Myra. He's like, but I'm telling you right now, I don't care if you play. I don't need you. You're not worth a damn to me. I'm here to play basketball with or without you, kind of a thing. Mm. And not really trying to recruit him so much as just saying that, like, hey, listen, you're not making a point. You're not making a stand against, anything like that. You're doing yourself a disservice because you want to play basketball and you're letting other people make the decision for you. So you can choose.
Good on him.
So that meeting happens, and again, whether he was going to win or lose those games, whether he was on a hot streak or not, it seems like the townsfolk were just over him. They don't like the way you practice. What are these drills that you're doing?
Practice?
Is doing suicides? You're dribbling the ball? No, practice should just be scrimmage, back and forth, and then just shooting the ball in the basket. I know basketball. Come on.
We don't like the dancing.
They're gonna vote him out. Jimmy comes in, and again, IMDb says Jimmy only has 4 lines in this movie, the entire movie. So crazy that he's such a pivotal character, but he's only got 4 lines.
He's not.
And he tells the town after they've already voted to kick him out, to kick Coach out. He comes up and says, "I'll play, but under one condition, I'll only play for Coach." And then the town suddenly is just like, okay, well, yeah, we don't care. We scrap that. We want Coach because we want Jimmy. That's how bad we want Jimmy.
Jimmy is not a pivotal character. He's not. He's literally not, because
he just changed the vote, man, on his own, and he also changed the swing of that team. They went on a winning streak after that. He is a huge part of this movie.
I disagree. Where did Jimmy go? Just like, where's the mom? Where's Jimmy?
He's out back shooting hoops.
No. Where's Jimmy? He says, I only play for Coach, and then we see him in a few more scenes later on. If this guy is hyped up, the movie's telling me that this guy is the next Kobe, the next, Larry Bird, whatever you want to do, Michael Jordan, right? He's the guy, right? Then he needs to be the captain of the team. He needs to be the leader of the team. He needs to bring the team together.
What movie are you watching? After that speech, he goes on a tear, and they show him dunking buckets, bro, draining them thing from the top. It was a whole montage of it. I understand that, again, because all white people look alike to you.
They do.
That it was hard. It was hard for you to follow which white guy in the short shorts was making the bucket.
Tell me I'm wrong.
But he was doing the work.
Fine, he was doing the work probably in the scene after that to do the montage. But other than that, as the movie,
absolutely.
But after the movie continues to go on, he's not the leader. We don't see him like this is the character that has the speech in the locker room. He's like, come on, guys, rah, I'm the leader, and we're gonna follow you, Jimmy. Like, none of that happens.
So you're right, because again, another deleted scene where a lot of the team, the boys, are doing this kind of like what we saw in Miracle, right? Where they were against Coach, and then they're like, hold on, we got to be, showing them actually being a team, standing up for each other, supporting each other, going out with each other and doing the team stuff.
Chasing the skirts.
And, yeah. So it showed that a bit more, right?
Good.
And I think they actually cut a character out of these deleted scenes who was in here, a challenging character. But yeah, it did show a lot of that growth that we did not get to see in this movie. So Jimmy did get the game-winning shot.
He did.
At the end of
He
the
did, right? Because he was the one that said, I'm going to make it. And he did, so that's great, but I forgot him. As soon as, look, you may not think that all white people look the same, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, I saw the movie too. Jimmy speaks 4 lines.
Oh my God, it's Ethan Hawke.
Was it? He speaks 4 lines, and I swear to you, I see no Jimmy until the last 5 seconds when he does the shot. Because it's all focused on that tall kid that defied against Coach, but then but now have respect for the coach and gained each other's respect. So now the movie's kind of focusing on that kid, and then the movie towards like the semifinals completely looked on Slim Shady there.
All of those, you're right. All of the team seemed to have these little glimpses. These, not necessarily a spotlight, but just like a little glitter there, I guess, right? Because the first one guy, what was it? Buddy?
Oh, God.
Is that what it was? Or Wit? Oh, geez, all these names.
I have an idea, Eric. Let's write a 1950s basketball movie with white guys. Let's come up with stereotypical names. Buddy, Wit. I swear to God, if there's a Chuck there, I'm going to be upset.
I'm surprised one of them's not named Whitey.
They're not? Okay.
Where they all are, actually. Where the one guy who, just like you said, who defied Coach and went off on a tear already, he was one of the first ones who got benched, and then we get to see a glimpse of him. There was a little bit of a fight, and when one of the other team came up on Coach, he came up and punched him in the face and kind of had his coach back. They both get tossed out of the game.
Right.
And you could see them as they're shoulder and shoulder walking out, saying, "Oh, Coach, that was a good hit, right?" He's like, "Yeah, it sure was." And there was another one where the religious kid, where his dad, who owned the bus, who was also the pastor, whatever the heck, and who prays, he has his little moment where he takes a long time in the locker room after the prayer. He's still on one knee and he's still praying. And he has that moment where he was taking a long time, one game, and Coach comes down and says, "God wants you on the court." And he goes out and he just lets him have it.
Tears it up.
Right? And he says, "God wants me to play."
And
then Shorty doing his bucket shot.
You're also,
Ricky Berry.
You're also forgetting Dennis Hopper's kid gets into a unrealistic fight with this rival school, and he gets his shoulder cut up from the trophy case.
Oh, holy cow. The fouls in this game, in this whole movie, were hard to watch, man.
It was great.
They were either calling everything or calling nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't... It was like, what? But again, I guess that's to highlight the small hometown bias that the refs would have during a game, right?
I completely believe Gene Hackman in these scenes, like where he gets kicked out all the time, right? Because he's probably like, I don't know anything about basketball, but that guy just got thrown through a trophy case. That's probably a foul. Like every time that Gene Hackman got thrown out of the game, he did not deserve it. Like he was right. Every time.
Well, I mean, rightfully so. What was the guy, Flatch? I think it was the character's name. He went up to do his little finger roll, heaven forbid. And as he was midair, he gets shoved. He gets shoved hard on the ground. And it's like, that was not called? Or he gets called for the foul or something like that?
Yeah, he gets called for the foul, yeah. And then, like, he gets called for reaching. And it's like all these terrible calls.
Yeah. I was like, what? Who in the world?
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, that's the game.
Right. And then you're right. And then we get Slim Shady, the short guy.
Yeah, Muggsy.
This is his name, Muggsy Bogues. Thank you.
Yeah.
His name's Muggsy now. Thank you. Muggsy does the potty shot. It's great. I love that Muggsy's doing it. This is also the part where Gene Hackman made a deal with Dennis Hopper. And the deal was, hey, you know a lot about basketball, so you're going to be my new assistant coach. On the deal that you cannot drink anymore. And then Gene Hackman's like, yep, as long as you don't get kicked out anymore. Right? But then a few scenes later, right, Gene Hackman gets kicked out on purpose. He tells the ref, kick me out. And the ref's like, okay, you're kicked out. So then he breaks his deal and goes to Dennis Hopper and is like, hey, bud, it's your team now. So no wonder why Dennis Hopper fell off the wagon twice, because he was lied to by Gene Hackman.
Yeah, contract broken.
I'm just saying. I'm really pissed off about Dennis Hopper in this movie. I'm sorry. I'm just really... Don't have him in this movie. Like, there's no reason to have a town drunk who keeps on becoming the town drunk. I don't understand this part.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like his character, Shooter, and the lady character, Myra, really didn't have a lot to offer in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
There may have been something there, again, in the extended cut, where Dennis Hopper has this more relationship with his son, and there's that building a bit more, or that Coach gives Shooter more time, and we get to see Shooter shine a bit more, so that when he does inevitably get drunk again and his fall off hurts that much more for the audience. I can understand that, but it seems so like a hard cut between these characters, man. And I don't know. I don't want to say that because this was shot in 1986, is one of those you had to be there kind of movies.
No, there's a lot of movies in the 80s that were out before we were around that still stand up. You know what I mean? So this is a crappy movie.
But in the same way that like we grew up with like a Cool Runnings.
Sure.
And we watched that recently, and it's a fine movie. Okay, I'm not going to say that it's perfect or that it's horrible. It's a fine movie. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm trying to completely not compare movie to this one, but I'm talking about the pop culture part of it, right? Where in that part it was so more family friendly that there was magic in that movie. I don't know. I cannot relate to this movie if when it came out there was that same magic where everyone, the dad was taking his son to the movies to go watch this, and that's how they bonded by playing basketball with each other. Or I can't see that, but from what the reviews that I have to go by, it seems that maybe that's what it was.
Maybe yeah, because of the time period. Jordan was just a few years into the league. Basketball was becoming very, very popular. Not as popular as it did in the 90s, but it was getting there. So maybe this came out right time, right place. What's not the right time, right place, though, is Myra's.
Well, you had a new era. Sorry to interrupt. You had a new era of basketball happening at this point too. This was right before Bad Boys.
Yeah. No, it was during. Yeah, because Bad Boys was what 88, 89. Yeah. So this was still the end of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson era. This was towards the end of Showtime.
Yeah, this is where you get a little bit more what I like to call like the prison area, the physical area, where you could really throw elbows on the court here and kind of get away with it.
Yeah, Bill Laimbeer style.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, Bad Boys. Yeah, and there was a new idea of the game that happened. Again, watching this movie and just watching these kids just pass, shoot, pass. It just seemed like
not the game.
And then they score a whole 30 points.
Hey, that was a big deal in 1951. They didn't even have a 3-point line, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they didn't.
And then it seemed like I agree, but it also seemed like these guys had unlimited timeouts.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Timeout.
I want to talk about a timeout where they should have done in this movie. The timeout of Myra. Myra, is that right? Her mom is not attracted to Gene Hackman. They're the same age, but she wants to put her daughter with Gene Hackman, and she sets him up on a date. Yeah. And this is where Grandpa Still Got It kiss happened. And this is like he shows up, he's like, "Hey, you want to go for a walk?" Because she's out there hoeing. It's a farm term, people. Yeah,
she really was hoeing.
She was hoeing, right? And then he's like, "Hey, you want to go take a walk?" And I look at Gina and I was like, "Oh no." She's like, "Yeah, they're."
It was hard to watch.
Yeah. And they just walk, and then also what's hard to watch too is not only because I know what's happening, like what's gonna happen, but it's like her line delivery was terrible. Like not just her line delivery, but the lines themselves are terrible. Like she starts walking, and she looks over the field, and the first thing she said to him was like, "I like it out here. Reminds me of Ireland." It's like, what does that mean? That Ireland's full of farmland? Why would you say that? Are you Irish? Have you been to Ireland? That's just a stupid line. I'm sorry.
No, go off because
I'm sorry.
Again, this actor, there are certain actors I feel like Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall, Abe Vigoda, Robert Loggia, where at 20 years old they looked 60.
Yes.
And they will forever just look like old men.
Morgan Freeman.
And then when they turn into old men, it's like, oh yeah, there you are, Peter. Yeah, I feel like that's just kind of always who they were.
Good hook reference.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, like what was going on in the 50s and 60s, man? What was in the water? They just drink mercury and then they just smoke cigarettes when they were 12.
Hardcore smoking and drinking, but yeah, like it was so uncomfortable. Yeah, I like walking out here. Reminds me of Ireland, and then he's just like, I'm trying to teach these kids, and they go back and forth, and eventually he just lands one on her, and she accepts it, and now they're boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah,
maybe
that was. Yeah, they have like some sort of high school sweetheart type of thing.
Right.
Because remember, he gets asked at the semifinal or something like that, or it's like, oh, wait, are you going to stay for next season? And he goes, yeah, that's a good question.
He walks away. He gets asked that question twice during that and then the movie too.
What a baller, dude. He just hits it and quits it.
I know. I'm actually impressed. I actually have a theory at the end of the movie about this, a real theory. So they go to the semifinals. This is where I said Muggsy Bogues did his potty shots. He saves the day. And now they're going to the big city school for the state championship. And I find the movie's racism really good. I really did.
Sure. This is the first time we actually get to see a person of color in the movie.
A person? Persons. Because the Indiana team, our Hoosiers, walk on the court, and then they get like this crazy shot of them seeing all the black players, and they're just like, oh, shoot. Like the way it was shot and edited was so funny to me. I actually bursted out laughing.
Yeah. Our team here standing at a collective 5'10", 5'11".
Right.
And then these three black guys that come out are like 5 or 6'6".
Oh yeah.
You're just like, yeah. We're gonna beat these guys with fundamentals and our dribbling drills.
I was saving to tell this story for the show. So in my area, there's this inner city school called Woodward Polar Bears.
Okay.
They're an all-black team.
Okay.
And you know where I live.
Yes.
We don't have black people.
Whitesville.
Yeah. My sophomore year of high school, we go to play Woodward in like this invitational thing or whatever, right? We're out there doing our warm-ups, you ready for this? We're listening to that, and all of a sudden we hear all of a sudden you hear like Tupac or something. That one's not literally Tupac, but you're hearing some hardcore hip hop, and all LeBron James came out, all of them, and they're dunking, and they're 15, right? And we all just kind of look at each other, and we just have a collective like, I don't think we scored a basket.
It's like that iconic picture of like the women's USA basketball team going up against like, what was that, Colombia or like Venezuela or Ecuador or something like that.
Right.
And they're all easily a good foot and a half taller.
Right. It was amazing. I'm just like, oh my God, like there's no way. Like, and of course that was our introduction to inner city black culture. I mean, like, because we had our stance and how we watched the game is quiet. Woodward, every point, jumping up and down. Girls were screaming, Woodward. I'm just like, I'm gonna edit.
You're in a movie.
I'm gonna edit this out. Because it's true. And the reason why I'm laughing is because that was a culture shock for us, and I can imagine what these boys in 1951 Indiana would be feeling when they got to go against Woodward.
I was reminded of the bit of movie 43 with Terrence Howard when he did the speech at the basketball locker room, and I was like, "This is what it is."
Yeah.
Where it's just like basketball in the good old days, right? Where it was all just white people, just kind of, dribbling, and it's like, "Oh, well, but we're scared." Coach is like, "What's he gonna do? Dribble it with his right hand, and then whoa, dribble it with his left hand?" Yeah.
No, and the funny thing is that they hold their own. I mean, like in the first quarter, they get their butts kicked, right? But then they just have the magic of the white guy, I guess, and they're
down like 16 points.
I know, nobody comes back from that. But then they're doing it. They're killing it, right? And
yeah.
State
Give the
championship.
ball to Jimmy.
Give it to Jimmy. And Gene Hackman's like, okay, guys, we got 5 seconds to go. We're going to pass this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And the team's just looking at him, right? And all of a sudden, Jimmy says, Coach, I haven't spoke the rest of the movie. I'm going to speak again. I'm going to make the shot.
Give the ball to Jordan.
And he's just like, okay. Hey, Coach, you ever see that one time when Jordan shot against the Cavaliers? That hasn't happened yet. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And, yeah, I mean, that's what it was. Like, Jimmy gets the ball, nothing but net. Oh, my God, this small-town team out of nowhere beats the inner-city kids for the state championship. They're the best team this year. Roll credits. Before, though. So, we get a weird, uncomfortable shot. They win the state championship. They're all happy, right? And then the camera decides to go back to the high school gym. And there's like a little there's a little boy there shooting hoops by himself. There's no coach. There's Gene Hackman doing an overlay talk, like a narration or something.
That's right.
But who's the little boy? Don't know, right? And then the camera pans up to the wall, and there's the team, 1951 state champions, and there's no other plaques. I looked over at my wife and I went, what if that kid was like in the 1980s and the team's never won anything since?
It's still there today.
I'm just wondering because it's like, that's a stupid idea. I mean, that's meaning that don't film that scene. Just have Jimmy get hoisted up. He's amazing, and then credits. Don't do this mystery if Gene Hackman's coming back or not. Don't do this. It's stupid.
Yeah. I feel like another missed opportunity there to maybe wrap it up, more closure. You could have had it to where like Coach Norman walked out of the parking lot and he saw Myra and he's like, I think I'll stay another year. I think I like it here or something like that. Has some sort of closure.
Perfect.
And then just, they go into the car back seat and do all that. Or have there something where like the son or Shooter's son, Dennis Hopper's son, goes to see him and say, hey, Dad, just like you, or I don't know, Jimmy says something.
Yeah.
You really had so many possibilities to end it differently than just a fade to black with Gene Hackman saying, I love you.
I love you.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
A parade. Damn.
I just had a really sick thought of Shooter's kid running into the rehab center, and when somebody hangs themselves in a movie, and like it's always like the toes of the person, right? The camera shoots at the toes and the person's reaction. That would have been funny. Dad, whoa, toes.
It's a little dark.
It's a little dark. Hopefully, our review is going to be as dark. Oh, yeah, I have not changed my mind. This is a small bag for me. I did not enjoy this one. I think I've given my gripes about this. I think Jimmy's a weak character. They try to make Jimmy out to be something that he's not. Gene Hackman does not need to be in this movie. He needs to be a younger man so that the love interest doesn't seem weird. I do not like Shooter's storyline. I don't like that at all. And I don't like how every team they played against were bullies. Like, I mean, every team they played against, they were the good guys, no matter what. Like, it's kind of irritating me because that's not how it really is. So I don't see the hype with this movie. I'm never going to see the movie again, actually. This could be a shocker for people, right? Because this movie's such a classic. But no, small bag of popcorn. This movie's the pits. So, Eric, what's your popcorn rating for Hoosiers?
Yeah, I agree. Cookie cutter aside from like the sports part of it, I think we talked well enough about how it missed a lot of the stories. It felt like a lot of them were unfinished, or they introduced something and then never explored it again. I feel like there was possibility for there to be something else, and that there was wasted time on others. I don't mind Gene Hackman in this role. I actually think he did a very good job. I don't mind Dennis Hopper in this role. I think he actually did a pretty good job as well, too. I wouldn't nominate him for supporting actor, but whatever. I think Barbara Hershey did a very good job. I would have actually liked to see more of her character not in a romantic way, but more of like a Jimmy's parent, or the resistance that Coach Dale has to overcome a bit more of too. She could represent the town a bit more. She could represent the boys a bit more. I feel like there's something there where she's just trying to say, "Hey, I'm here too," rather than just being like, "Hey, it's not sports first. It's education first. It's opportunity first, and then comes the sports here first." This is all because they talk about more and more in this movie that there's really not much in this town. There's basketball and there's farming, and I think that's about it. Maybe
Jesus.
something else. And oh yeah, Jesus. Can't forget about him. And I feel like she should have put more hope behind the opportunity that these boys could have. That, hey, I'm trying to get these boys out of this town, and you're trying to keep them stuck. And then you could have reflecting that Dennis Hopper was that guy. He was the guy that had the hope. He was the basketball all-star. Oh, man, I won this thing back in 38 or whatever it is. And he's that loser high school that was still riding that high and is living that dream. You know, how he scored 4 touchdowns that one game at Polk High School.
Nice. I was going to say Polk. Good job. Well, I mean, like, yeah. Okay, so another spin on it, Eric, though, would be like, why not have some conflict with the love interest because she's so about education and getting these kids out of the town? Why doesn't she still spend one of the kids because of academic probation? And that could be such a big struggle with her and Gene Hackman.
As long as there's no romance.
No. It has to be.
Then I'm all right with that. Yeah, I think that's actually a very good example. Have it to be where like, no, your grades fell, Jimmy, so I don't want you to play unless you can get your grades up a bit more.
At least a C.
This shouldn't be your only way out. You should have more opportunities here.
Great struggle.
So, yeah, and then you could highlight the boys a bit more in what they're dealing with, their at-home struggles, and about how, you know, the dad is just like, I don't like you playing for that coach. It's like, but Dad, I love basketball. I want to play.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or like every dad is trying to survive from PTSD from World War II. You know, just like,
you're gonna play basketball, then you're gonna come here and you're gonna work on this farm.
Yeah. Now that's what happens.
And he says, Dad, I don't want your life.
I can't follow that one. That was too perfect.
So small. Again, yeah. I think this is so Rocky's the oldest movie that we reviewed on this one. Is this the second?
1986? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm not sure, again, if this movie is, if we are a victim of the time here.
Mm-hmm.
It's before us, and so we don't have the same rose-colored, you know, lenses going into this, watching this.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. Both smalls. I'm actually relieved because I'm like, I don't know what Eric's gonna say. You know, to my wife, I was like, I don't know what Eric's gonna say. Like, is he gonna say I'm absolutely crazy? Like, is this a great movie? Like, we're gonna fight? I didn't know.
No, I think also that maybe I've been spoiled by a lot of great basketball.
Fair enough.
It's kind of hard to watch a movie like this, like a He Got Game or
Coach Carter.
Yeah, Coach Carter.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Glory Road.
Glory Road, Blue Chips with Shaq and Penny. Space Jam.
Yeah.
Be Like Mike. You know.
What was one that we watched earlier? Oh, man. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson.
Oh, White Man Can't Jump.
White Man Can't Jump.
That's a good movie. It's a good basketball movie.
It's better than this one.
I would agree. And we hope you all who are listening agrees that you keep on downloading us, right? movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Right?
Yes. Are you asking?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I go on Spotify.
You do go on Spotify. You can check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. We are on that platform. Eric, thanks so much for joining me. We'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
I'm at the stage right now where I have to go. I was with it, but then they changed what it was. It'll happen to you.
100%.
Now it scares me. Yeah.
Totally agree. What is that symbol up there?
That happens too much. But I'm pissed because I see a lot of like the fashion trends that are going around, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, why wasn't this popular when I was a kid? Like when I was a kid, it was all hype beast, and it was whatever you were wearing, whatever brand you had represented kind of everything that you were. So like if you weren't wearing like the Express or the Abercrombie or the Hollister or like even the Tommy Hilfiger, kind of all those big name brands, you weren't wearing your Doc Martens, then you're not allowed to be at the lunch table, bud. But now I feel like kids are rocking the Costco fit. Like there's like, yeah, I'm wearing Kirkland top to bottom, and it's just like, I was a kid of divorced parents. I know you were too. It's like like we only went shopping like once a year. And that was like before school, and we only got like a few outfits, maybe if that, out the clearance rack. It's like, oh man, I would have been in my element back then.
And fly for a white guy.
That's what I'm saying.
I think my is dying on me.
Oh, bye, Jordan.